Nights Media Network. I'm Lily, and today I'm here with Grace with the Bellarmine Activity Council Board. And so what do you do there?
Yeah, so I'm the vice president, so I
Okay.
kind of help with some of like the more behind the scenes stuff, not so much
Awesome.
like the super hands-on event planning, but kind of
Okay.
helping people through that process,
Yes.
which is super fun.
So how long have you been in this position?
I've been in this position for 2 years.
Okay.
And then before that, I was one of the seasonal co-chairs.
Awesome.
So I got to help plan events, and then before that, I was a volunteer.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And so the Ball and the Bell is coming up
Mm-hmm.
this Friday. Is it sold out?
It is.
Okay,
Yeah.
so are you guys excited for that? What goes into the planning process on your all's part? Where do you kind of start with that?
It's super exciting. So we usually book a space, the Belle of
Okay.
Louisville, like a year in advance, just because it
Gotcha.
fills up super fast. But it always kind of helps having that like in place, and so then it's kind of just like finding all the fun stuff. So
Right.
we get like a DJ, and
Okay.
we usually like design shirts to hand out, that kind of thing.
Yes,
Which
I know.
Is so
I still
fun.
have my shirt from last year, and
Yeah.
I love it. So you guys kind of do all that sort of stuff. That's so
Yeah,
cool.
and then even some of the like stuff that maybe people don't think about, so like
Yeah.
ordering EMS to be there, and like
yes,
the
that's-
buses and that kind of thing.
yes.
But like it's so fun to like see
Yeah.
it all kind of come together.
I was going to ask about transportation. So is there transportation from Bellarmine to Ball and the Bell?
Yeah, so we have 2 like just normal school buses
Okay.
that'll be outside of Fraser. I usually tell people like they'll start loading at like 7:45. But get there sooner because it is kind
Right.
of first come first serve.
Yes.
But we kind of like to have that option for people who maybe like don't want to drive downtown,
Yes.
don't want to have to deal with parking because it's always a
Yeah,
whole thing. But
right. I know.
yeah.
I've had to deal with that in the years past.
Yeah.
And it's definitely can be a pain. So
For sure.
definitely recommend
Yeah.
getting on the bus if you can. And so you don't have to like sign up to ride the bus. You just first come.
Yeah, first come,
Okay,
first
good.
serve.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's easy enough.
Yeah.
So what is the theme this year?
So our theme is Hollywood, which is so
Awesome.
fun. Like we're gonna try to do it up and like have little like
Yes.
paparazzi, like people taking photos, that kind of thing. Which
Oh my
is
gosh.
super fun.
Yes. So what goes into kind of figuring out that theme? Who decides that, and how do you guys kind of come up with that and organize those aspects?
Yeah, so it kind of depends year to year. This
Okay.
year we kind of took the approach of like in our general meetings, we
Mm-hmm.
kind of asked everyone and we're like, okay, like give us a list of themes
Yeah.
that we think like are good. And then from there we narrowed it down to
Yes.
2 and then we voted on the 2.
Okay.
But sometimes we'll put out like an Instagram poll or like ask
Okay.
people for their opinions. It kind of just depends year to
And
year.
you've done that in past years.
Yeah, so
getting,
I think
like,
that's what we did last year.
That's so cool. And
Yeah.
last year, wasn't it was it the 20s or was that the year before?
I think that was the year before. I think last
Okay.
year was like a neon cowboy.
Yes,
Yeah.
I remember that now.
Yeah.
Yes, that was so fun.
So I always tell people, I'm like, follow our Instagram if
Yes.
you like.
So what
have an
is your
idea.
Instagram right now? Just a quick plug.
It's BAC. I don't
You're
remember the
good.
exact,
You're
but I
good.
can give it to you later.
Yes, we can even like probably put it in somewhere
Yeah.
and have it in the description
Sorry.
for everybody. You're totally fine. Oh my gosh. So that's so exciting with
Yeah.
the Hollywood theme. Do
Absolutely.
you know what you're gonna dress up as?
So my boyfriend and I are going to be Anakin and Padme from Star
Oh my
Wars.
gosh, I love
Which
that.
I'm going to be so honest, I haven't seen a Star Wars movie until like
okay.
last week. And they were like, you have to watch them. So
Yeah.
I'm working my way through them.
Okay.
But
Yes,
I'm
but
super
have
excited.
you watched the ones that like Anakin and
Yeah.
Padme are in? Good.
I'm
I
finally
know.
caught up.
Those are good. That's good. Such a creative costume. I love that. So speaking of creative costumes, what would you say in your time has been the most creative costume that you've seen at Ball and the Bell?
There's been so many, and there's some that are like
Yeah.
just kind of silly. Like I remember one year a bunch of guys came in with just like safety vest on and had like a big 2x4,
Oh
and
my
they were
gosh,
like
that's
construction
so
crew.
funny.
But I remember one year, kind of with the Star Wars theme, someone made this whole like paper mache like baby Yoda thing,
Oh my
and it was like
gosh.
it was so big, and like you couldn't even see their
Like
face
life
or anything.
size, like
it was huge, and I was just like, you put so much time into this.
Yeah.
Like it's so cool.
Oh
So,
my gosh, I love
Yeah.
that. So, you know, what else is there to do like once you get there? Obviously, you guys are having the Hollywood theme this year with the paparazzi getting there and stuff. So what is that going to look like once you're there? Like, what is there for everybody to do?
Yeah, so I always tell people, they'll be like, oh, I don't want to dance. And I'm like, you don't have to dance.
Yeah.
So the way the boat's set up is like, there is like the main dance floor,
Yes.
but there's also tables if people want to like hang out with their friends. We'll have like some snacks and stuff. And then there's like a little upstairs that they can go to that like
Okay.
kind of looks out like off the roof, I guess.
Yes,
And so that's just a really good like little hangout spot just to like be with your friends, like
Yes.
take photos if you want, that kind of
Yeah.
thing. So there's a little bit of everything for
Yeah,
everybody.
and so there's like a dance floor and a DJ and stuff. That's so cool.
Yeah.
So I know you mentioned there's going to be snacks and stuff. Like, usually what does that kind of look like with the food or beverage for people?
Yeah, usually for snacks, it's more of just like popcorn, that kind of thing, just because it's a little
Yeah.
bit easier.
No, but something easy to just
Yeah,
kind of
for
carry
sure.
around and snack on.
Yeah, and then there's like soda, lemonade, water, and then for our friends who are 21 and over, as long as you have your ID, they check them like at the door. But as
so
long
definitely,
as
if you're looking for that, bring your ID with you.
Yeah, but they have drinks. It's like a cash bar. So, or like card, either one. They always
Gotcha.
call it
Yes,
cash
I
bar,
was going to ask for our upperclassmen students that are above 21. So have you gone to Ball in the Bell all of your years at Bellarmine?
I have.
Yeah?
I remember that's kind of how I started volunteering with BAC, is I thought it was going to sell out in like 5 seconds. So I was like, I'm going to volunteer, and then I guarantee I have a spot.
Yes.
Which you do have a little bit more time than like just a day to, to get a ticket. But that's kind of how I got my foot in, and like have loved it ever since. But it's been so fun, like kind of seeing how things change all 4 years and that kind of thing.
What have you dressed up as the years before?
My freshman year I was a witch, because I was like, I don't want to think about this. I just want to get a little hat. And then the year after I was like a bride. It was like a group costume thing. And then last year, I don't know if you've seen the movie Risky Business.
Oh,
I haven't, but I know Tom Cruise comes sliding in his like dress shirt. I like just stole one of my dad's dress shirts and did that. And it was so comfy. I was like, that's probably my favorite costume that I've done.
And so is it okay for students who want to go, like if they don't dress on theme? Yes. And I know is there like a costume contest or anything? So how does that work? Like, do you have to dress on the theme to be a part of that, or will they still take you or take your entry or vote for you or whatever if you maybe aren't following?
Yeah, even we usually do like there'll be an award for like the theme, and then there's usually like a group costume and like that kind of thing. It's voted for by like the faculty chaperones that are there. So I always tell people that, because sometimes people are like, you didn't vote, and it's like, it would be cool if it was student voted, but that would just be like a little bit more complicated.
Take a bit more time probably, and be a whole lot more of a process, I'm sure.
But there is like a fun little contest.
That's so cool. Yes, that is really cool. I remember seeing the costume contest a few years ago. One of my friends won. And so that's always a fun memory. What is your favorite memory from Ball in the Bell that you've had?
That's such a good question. Honestly, probably last year, just because I had so many like friend groups that were there that probably wouldn't have interacted otherwise, but like seeing them all kind of like get together and like have fun and dance was really fun.
Yes, I know. It is a really cool place because I know a lot of people like that will have their different friend groups on campus, so it's a good opportunity for everybody to just come together and just kind of connect and have a good time. So what would you say that you're looking forward to the most this year for Ball in the Bell?
I think just like knowing that it's the last one, kind of just like going like all out and making sure to like make the most of it. Yes,
making all the memories you can. And so with just really quick, with the activity council board, what other big activities are your biggest, ones that you run throughout the year, and kind of your favorites to do with that?
Yeah, so we always do like Sparks at night, late night breakfast. Those are some of my favorites, just because it's such a big thing, but it's so cool to like see the process of like even starting planning to like getting the payoff. It's so fun. But we do like some smaller ones in between, so like Fall Fest, like Summer Send Off, all those. And even the bingos, like those are so fun to see people get into them.
I didn't know you guys did that. That's so cool.
Yeah, and we're always looking for volunteers.
Yes,
so.
I was going to say, if people out there watching did want to get more involved with that type of event planning and all of the processes you all go through, how would they go about that? Yeah,
so we have like general body meetings on Wednesdays. They're on Engage, so if anyone's ever interested. They're from like 4:30 to 5:30. Up in Centro, and so if anyone ever wants to join, like they are so welcome. Like we love feedback. We want to hear people's opinions. Like if somebody wants to volunteer for an event, anything like that, like that's such a good way to just kind of like get more information, but also just kind of give your ideas, that kind of thing. Right. That's so cool. Okay, one last time for everybody watching that is going to Ball in the Bell. Where do they go? What time do they need to be there? Just all the general stuff. One quick reminder, where the buses and stuff. Yeah, so for the buses, I would say make sure you're outside of Fraser by like 7:20, 7:30. They'll get there at 7:45, but just, I don't know how many people are going to be out there. It's first come, first serve, that kind of thing. But they'll be there to take you down to the boat. I would say for people that are going to be on the boat, try to get there sooner rather than later. It takes off around like 8:45-ish. And so it like will take off regardless of people. If you're not there. Yeah, I always feel bad because I remember one year like we were waving at someone and they were trying to run up, and I was like, no. but it's just kind of like strict because it has to go and has to
absolutely,
go.
totally understand.
So I always tell
Yeah.
people, like, give yourself more time than less.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Grace, thank you so much for
Thank
coming on and
you.
talking to us today. And everybody, have fun if you're going to Ball.